Welcome to my Learn English channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you how listening to Americans helped me improve on my British accent. Just to get this straight, I'm a Ukrainian girl and I practiced a lot to improve on my British accent. I learned English mainly through listening and self-study. And one thing that I used to do quite a bit in the beginning of my career would have to be just to listen to as many British English sources as I could. I picked my favourite English speaker and I listened to that person over and over again all the time. And that was something that I tried to do as much as I could. I tried picking materials that were mainly British English spoken, and I think that by imitating the speakers in those videos, I managed to take my English to a level where people recognised that I spoke with a British English tint in my English. So that's what I did. But then a very interesting thing happened. I tried staying away from listening to American English materials because I wanted to keep my accent as clear as I could, and I drew my inspiration from listening to British English speakers. But then something interesting happened. I got into the spiritual industry and I started listening to teachers who were talking about psychology, spiritual work, things like that, and most of them were Americans. And something very interesting started seeping into my life. As I started listening to American speakers, something switched in my English and I noticed very positive changes in terms of my accent. And even though I carried on speaking with a British accent, I thought that I refined it in a way thanks to those teachers. And I hope this video is going to be helpful to those of you who are planning to reduce your local accent and speak with a clearer English accent. So here are some things that I drew from those videos and from listening to quite a bit of American accent. First and foremost, I think I got a little bit more relaxed. If you listen to my first videos that appeared on my channel in 2012 and 2013, one thing you might notice very clearly if you compare them with this video of mine is that I spoke in a kind of a very forced manner, and some of you guys actually picked this very clearly and very accurately in the comment section down below. So some of you wrote that my English was quite forced. Now I think that forcedness of my English has minimised thanks to the fact that I listen to American speakers whose English tends to be a little bit more relaxed and chilled as compared to British English speakers. So I think that would have to be one positive thing. Another very positive feature that I noticed would have to be the pace, the speaking speed that I adopted as a result of listening to American speakers. I think that it mattered to me quite a lot to be able to produce every sound, especially the vowel sounds, in a very accurate manner. It helped me a lot as a teacher, and it keeps helping me nowadays because as I'm talking to my learners, it's very important that they get it very clearly in terms of what I'm saying. But having listened to quite a few videos done by American English speakers, I noticed that because I dropped that forcedness, the speaking speed came very naturally to me. So I started using more contractions as I spoke, and I also got better at incorporating the schwa sound, the sound into my speech. So I thought that my English went a long way from being extra exaggerated to something that I would personally consider to be quite natural. And also another interesting thing as far as sounds are concerned, t and d, those sounds I pronounced with an immense aspiration because I thought those were characteristic of a British accent. So every time a t or d sound came up, I thought it was my personal responsibility to blow them out as much as I could. But having listened to quite a few American speakers, I noticed that very often what they do in American English is that they kind of reduce the amount of air they blow out as they say the t and d sounds. And I thought that was fairly beneficial to my English as well. And after I started working in the voiceover industry, I started working with the mic. And one curious thing about a professional mic would have to be that if you blow too much air into the mic, you actually end up spoiling the recording that you get as a result of what you've been doing in front of the mic. And generally, I found that I had to kind of reduce the aspiration I put into the t and d sound. And I actually got commented on my t and d sound quite a lot by native speaker friends. And after I just listened to American English, I noticed that it became very easy for me to keep an eye on those sounds. And now I kind of try to keep everything in my mouth, as I'm saying, the sounds that should be heavily aspirated, even though in British English we do quite a bit of aspiration, way more when compared to American English. And last but not least, one thing that I did, thanks to my American English listening, was that I deepened my voice even more, but I did that to a degree that was more natural. Again, I think if you're one of those people who really want to make your accent as natural as you can, one thing you need to do is to understand the vocal apparatus, the speech organs that we have in our mouth. When I'm teaching students face-to-face, understanding our speech organs is one of the first steps that we take when we start our voice lessons. So when listening to American English, I started deepening my voice even more than with British English, but I also managed to strike this beautiful balance between the position in which my voice used to be located and the position that would help me pronounce the words in a natural manner without focusing too much on the individual sounds that I was producing. So those are basically my main tips for those of you who are planning to refine your British accent. For those of you who are interested in learning how to make an English accent that is kind of native English, if I may say so. So I really hope that helps, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to learn English more. I'll talk to you soon. Ta-ta for now.